this video, we're going to go over a couple of the different ways to teach your dog down. Down can be a really tricky behavior for some dogs to acquire, even though it is a natural behavior that all dogs do, presumably when they sleep. If your dog is struggling to get into a down, just know that you are not alone. It's probably one of the most common kind of behaviors that stumps people. That seems like it should be really basic, but it isn't always. So the first thing that we'll probably ask you to try is try it with a lure, right? So there's two ways to try it with a lure. For some dogs, you start them in a sit position. Once they're in that sit, you take that cookie, you draw a line straight down their body, real slow, letting them kind of nibble on it while they're at it, and then clicking when their elbows hit the ground and giving them that cookie, and then maybe resetting them and trying it again. So if your dog naturally lures easily from a sit, then this probably isn't a really difficult behavior for you, right? This is kind of, the first thing that most people try. If that doesn't work well for your dog, you can try luring them from a stand. So you'll notice that Wispy is in a stand position here. Instead of asking her to sit first, you might try just kind of lowering that treat gently, kind of towards like the inside of where her paws are. And some dogs will kind of either naturally back up and lay down, or they might even do what we call a fold back down, which is where their body literally collapses, kind of like an accordion. And then you can reset them, so one free treat just to get them up again. And then again, trying that. So taking that treat, going kind of down. There we go. That's like that fold back down. And then you retreat up, and then again, trying that fold back down. So some dogs just naturally do that mechanic better than the luring behavior. Or maybe you have a dog who is extremely close to the ground, like a short dog. So maybe, yes, I love you. So maybe the luring doesn't make a lot of sense for them because they're already so close to the ground. They might be better off with this. Now, if both of those don't work really well for your dog, you can try a different way. So this way requires a dog of a certain size. What you might do is you take a cookie in your hand and you show it to them, and you will see if they try to pursue it under a barrier. So in this case, the barrier is my leg. And to be honest, Wispy is kind of a big dog to be trying the leg thing with. It works a little bit better for a smaller to a medium-sized dog, and she's kind of a large at this point. So definitely something you could try with a puppy, seeing if they will kind of follow you under the leg. If you do have a bigger dog and you still want to pursue this, then you can just use something like a chair, a table, like maybe a side table, something that's not too tall, that obviously your dog could just walk right under, but something that's just a little bit lower where they can still fit. Show them one more time. So, good. Excellent job. There we go. Okay. And then the last way you can try getting this behavior is you can do something that we call capturing. Capturing takes a little bit of time. That being said, for some dogs, it comes down to working on it through capturing. And it's something you definitely need to kind of do at home. It's a little harder to capture in a class setting because it's very chaotic and very exciting, and the dog is just a lot less likely to offer the down. So what capturing is essentially waiting for the dog to offer the finished behavior, in this case the down, and then just clicking and reinforcing it, and hoping that over time they get enough reinforcement for it that they start to offer it, and then putting it on cue. So we can pretend, so when you start capturing something, first thing I would say is bring your dog to an environment where it's likely to happen. So you can do something like tether them to you so there's nowhere to go. Maybe hang out in a really small room that's super boring. Don't pay a lot of attention to them, so read a book or scroll on your phone a little bit, but just keep an eye out for them in the corner of your eye so that you can be prepared to click and treat them when the behavior does occur. A really awesome option for where to go is to hang out like in the bathroom. So go to the bathroom and like sit down on the toilet and just like wait. And for, if your dog will follow you to the bathroom and you can close the door, you just sort of wait them out. And honestly, usually when they're in the right environment where they're likely to think to offer it down just to relax, you can just capture it as it's occurring. So you can see that I've been doing that as I've been talking to the camera with Wispy. And she kind of has no idea why she's getting these clicks and treats. But over time, the light bulb will start to go off, like, hey, there's something about this behavior that for whatever reason, every time I do it, I get reinforced for it. So maybe the human wants me to do it more. And she'll start to offer it more and more. And a big part of it is not really paying too much attention to them. So if you're reading a book or watching TV or something, that's really ideal. And also not having the environment have too many other possible reinforcers. So it's not a good idea to have an environment that's laden with toys or laden with other dogs or exciting things or other people. It should be something where the best option for them to do is just to chill out. I wish I had my phone, but my phone is what's doing all the recording right now. begun to offer the down a little more frequently, and I know exactly what her body does before she gets into the down position, I can now start to predict, right, when she's about to go into a down, what her body looks like, what her paws do, what her head does. In this case, I can start to name the behavior as it's occurring. Down. So she would have done it anyways, but I'm just starting to insert my verbal cue. Down. 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 She won't get up. I'll toss another fruit treat for her. Down. So now it's time to maybe say the behavior before she starts to do the down and see if she will offer it shortly after. I missed that opportunity. She went so fast. I'm going to try again. Down. Just what I want. Down. 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 Excellent job. Okay guys, hopefully that gives you a few tips on how to work on down. I know this can be a tough one for some dogs and it seems like it should be so simple, so just keep at it and make sure that you're setting your dog and yourself up for success. So if this is a behavior that your dog has struggled with in the past, make sure you're working with them when they are tired in a comfortable environment where they're likely to offer a down. So if you have a really bony, skinny dog who's kind of sensitive to surfaces, don't do it on the tile, especially in the middle of the winter when it's cold. Do it on a nice plush sofa or bed or a cushion. And if you have a dog who's a little less picky about their surfaces, it never hurts to pick like a rug or just something that's a little bit more palatable for most dogs anyways. And then make sure that the food that you're using is not too exciting that your dog can't leave it alone. So you might want to work on this after dinner or after breakfast so that they're not starving all the time when you're working on this and they're not sitting here mugging your treat pouch. If you can't even wear the treat pouch, you can always just put the cookies like in a jar on a shelf or something and then click and then go and give them one. And they'll probably get excited after they got that first cookie and it'll take them a little bit of time to settle down again, as you saw it did for Wisby, but that's okay. You just go back to reading your book, go back to scrolling on your phone, and just wait it out a little longer until they offer down again. And you can click again and then go up, reach up and grab a cookie from the shelf. So we do want to make sure that we're not setting them up to just do another behavior. So if Wisby had been drooling at my pouch or biting at it or trying to get into it, this would not have been very successful. So I needed to work with something that was valuable to her, but not overly stimulating for her. And that'll be different for every dog. And also I work with her when she's full. So she's already had dinner, so she's not desperate for food right now, which is a really good time to kind of do this, especially for most dogs who are always hungry. Okay guys, have fun with this one. Good luck. See you later.